So it's another day that we've got an opportunity. So today we want to discuss on the steering system. Have you wondered what happens when you steer your vehicle either to the right, to the left, or even moving or turning a corner? Now this is what happens. We've got our steering wheel. This is what each one of us who is a driver is conversant with. The steering wheel, where in the driving school we are taught there are those that hold the steering this way, or even depending on your preference. So, but mechanically, or even what happens, what is the turning effort of the vehicle? So today we are going to check on the steering system, and by the end of this video, I hope you're going to understand better how the steering works, and also the importance of having the steering, and also diagnosing. You yourself as the driver, you ought to know the problem before taking to the mechanic. So this is the steering wheel. Then we've got a joint that connects. Now this is the steering rack. This is the steering rack and this is the wheel. There is a shaft here, we call it the pinion. So this is the rack and pinion type of steering wheel. So let us check. When I'm turning right, the outer wheel. So this is the front left wheel, and this is the front right wheel, depending on the position that you are right now. So when I'm turning, so let's say I'm turning on the left, the main function of the steering wheel is to turn left, right, and hold the vehicle in a straight motion. So what happens when I'm turning left? When I'm turning left, the steering wheel rotates in an anti-clockwise movement, but the inner wheel, depending on there are those that the tie rod and the rack are fitted on the front of the hub, and those that are on the rear. So this is what happens. When I'm turning right, I'm rotating the wheel clockwise, but the shaft, this is what we call the shaft in the steering, moves outwards as this side becomes short. When I'm moving straight ahead, usually I'm able to view the instrument cluster, the speedometer, the fuel gauge properly. So that's why the steering wheel has a large portion on the upper part. So when I'm moving in a straight movement, the length on this side to this is equal. What about when I'm turning left? The right side becomes longer and the left side becomes shorter. Now, this is the rack and pinion. Let us look now what in the real aspect. Today we've got a privilege now the steering system. Now this is the steering rack. This is the steering rack. Now depending if your vehicle is left hand, now the pinion, this is what we call the pinion, will be on this side. But since here in Africa or even in Kenya we are conversant with the right hand vehicle, the pinion is on the right side. So we've got the rack end and we've got the tie rod end. So this is the pinion. We've got two types of steerings. We've got the mechanical steering and we've got the power assisted steering. And in the power assisted steering, here is now we've got the electrical power steering. Those that do not have the pump, ukienda kwa petrol station, there is no one telling you, hey, your power steering fluid is low. Now this is what we call the electric power steering. There are some examples of vehicles that have electric power steering. An example, we've got the Toyota Spatio, we've got the Toyota Vitz, which have used the electric power steering, and many others. But there are also, this steering comes from a Fielder 206, 204 to 206. They are having a hydraulic power steering, where you are required to put, we call it power steering, where there is a pump. We usually have a belt-driven pump, which requires the function of the steering, the steering assist. We call it the steering assist. It is to multiply the effort one, and number two is to make sure the steering or the one driving or uses less effort. Hence, we've seen guys doing greater than on the door panel and turning the vehicle. Unlike the older days, those cantellas they use on the Bedford track, you could see drivers having better muscles compared to today. So let us see. This is a hydraulic. We shall come to that. This is a hydraulic power steering. And many problem, there's a lot of problem with the hydraulic power steering. Also, when it comes to leakage, because it is a pump assisted steering, when it has leakage, now those becomes a problem. Now we've got the tie rod end, we've got the rack end, we've got, now these are very interesting bit. This is what we call the steering rubber, the steering boot. The steering boot. So, because the tie rod and the rack end always moves in and out, there are sometimes that water, this is what we call the bellows or the steering boot. Hear this. Now, it is a collapsible. We call it a collapsible rubber. This one. Such that always ensure that this one prevents water and dust from entering the steering system. Because here, as you've seen here, this is the pinion gear driving the rack and pinion. Now, when there is dust in this area, and we know this bit need to be greased, and also has fluid, when there is external hazards such like water and dust, it interferes with the steering or the lifespan of the steering. So kindly always ensure that your steering boot are in good condition. So let us look about the defects of the steering. Now we briefly, maybe on the Honda, there's some Honda series or the Subaru which has a motor, an electric motor fit